What's going on, guys? Jacob Orth back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas, coming to you guys from the Las Vegas Strip. Sun is setting right now. You guys probably see some of the lights starting to come on down there. I'm at the south end. There's not like a whole lot to look at down here. Not at this specific point. Unless you want to go down to the Las Vegas sign. Probably can't even see it lit up from here. Or if you just want to come look at the lights at the Diamond Inn Motel. So here at the south end, gonna bring you guys some good content in this video. I think you guys are gonna like this because we're gonna talk a little history. We're gonna talk a little bit of speculation here about going forward in Las Vegas and really what's been going on here in this wild year known as 2020. So guys, go ahead, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that, please, because there's so much more to come between now and the end of 2020, and I got lots to talk about. So subscribe, and let's jump into this video talking about Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak and whether or not he will shut down Las Vegas again. Now, if he's going to shut down Las Vegas, that pretty much means you're shutting down the entire state of Nevada, because this right here where I'm standing, you know, this area within a few miles of this is the economic driver. This county is the economic driver of the state, but a lot of that comes from this street I'm standing on right here, over Fremont Street, and other parts of the county. So here's how we'll do it. We'll talk about whether or not I think, oh look at this, the truck is going by. See all that light just come on my face right now? Billboard trucks are out and running. They're not shutting down anytime soon. But we'll talk about whether or not I think we're going to shut down, and we're going to look short term and we're going to look long term, okay? And we're going to look at things where they get better or get worse. So if you guys remember, with the chopper going overhead here, if you guys remember, we reopened June 4th here in Nevada, okay? That was when we reopened. And to say that it's been a roller coaster ride since we've reopened would be a bit of an understatement, okay? We reopened without the mask mandate, then 3 weeks later we had a mask mandate. Then, bars were ordered to be closed, bars have sued. The judge sided with Governor Sisolak over the bar issue. Other businesses have just gone out of business, including Sundance Helicopter, who's now no longer in business. So we had small businesses mostly going out of business here in Las Vegas and across the entire state of Nevada because tourism, hospitality, traveling has just been hit so hard when it comes to this virus that it's been pretty devastating, to say the least. So lots of businesses are going out, unfortunately. But as we look, into the near future, do I think we're going to shut down again? And this is gathered from people I've talked to and just what I'm seeing here on the ground level. But I would say that the answer is more than likely no. I don't think we're going to wind up shutting down again here in Las Vegas because, when it came to reopening on June 4th, then the virus numbers got worse. What I had heard was that, after reopening and the virus getting worse, and the mask mandate going into effect, what I had heard was that the governor had allegedly wanted to shut down again, but that the casinos supposedly did not. So you had kind of this power struggle, if you will, here in Nevada, and that's what I had been told was the case. Now going forward, it doesn't seem like the governor to me would be so eager to shut down again. That's not the impression I'm getting going forward. If you actually notice lately, he's actually been, it seems like, not in the press as much, seems like there hasn't been as much attention around him, laying kind of low throughout this to try to ride this out because it's a chaotic situation. Politicians all over the country are getting just blasted right now for it. Going forward, I don't think we are going to be shutting down anytime soon because right now the state of Nevada, like pretty much every state in the U.S., is really hurting for revenue. And even with our tourism numbers being down, even with, the number of people visiting being down, the amount of money being spent down, the casinos, the hotels not being able to charge the normal prices there are because the demand is lower. Even with that, at least the state of Nevada from, a financial perspective is getting some money. They're collecting taxes from the hotel tax or the room tax, sales tax. I believe, I looked this up years ago, and I think sales tax is something like 70-something% of Nevada's tax revenue. Why? Because people come here and they spend all kinds of money when they come here, okay? Whether that's on, food, whether it's on tickets to shows or clubs or, whatever the case is, people spend typically a lot of money. They still spend more money on their vacation than they would just in their everyday life. So, you know, sales tax is a huge one here. So right now, at least the state is getting some money coming in, because if we were to shut down again, obviously we would have no money coming in. And we just had our special session because we had a huge deficit to try to make up for here in Nevada. So I think, you know, from the government perspective, at least they're getting some money versus no money if we were to shut down again. Now, looking longer term, what's going to be interesting is to see as we get further away from Labor Day weekend. So as we get further away from Labor Day weekend, we see more of the you know, virus cases, we see test results, we see if deaths have increased. Those are going to be big, you know, as we're able to get a more accurate reading of what impact Labor Day weekend had here in Las Vegas, because it was July 20th, I think, when our numbers peaked. And, you know, they seem to have started to be dropping off as we were getting into like early August. So with, or no, we'd be more like later August, like second half of August is when they seem to be going down. So, and with Labor Day weekend being so big and bringing, you know, however many people to town, it's not going to be probably 300,000+ like it, you know, is in some big years or normal years. But with an influx of people coming to town Labor Day weekend, we're going to really see, you know, what impact, how that affects the virus here. So if the virus, you know, doesn't really spread, we don't have a big surge in deaths or anything like that, that could be a very good sign for Las Vegas going forward in the long term. It could be a very good sign as we head into, you know, the fall, as we head into the winter time, which is typically, you know, the flu season time of year. So if we can go into that in a better spot, that's obviously much better. Now, if things get worse after Labor Day with the virus, as we get further away from Labor Day weekend and we see that things have gotten worse, cases have gone up, deaths have gone up is really the big one to be looking out for. If things have gotten worse, I still don't think that the immediate reaction is going to be to shut down. I don't. And again, because a big part of it is financial, right? The state, the government wants to get some money versus no money. And of course, you know, a lot of the businesses, these big casinos, you know, that cost tens of millions of dollars a day to operate. You know, Las Vegas Sands is $365 million a month to operate. So over $12 million a day just for them. Not necessarily just here in Las Vegas. A lot of these companies have properties around the U.S. and around the world. But nonetheless, they have huge overhead. So they're, you know, they want to try to get some money. So what I think they will do, if cases get worse or if deaths get worse, if the virus situation gets worse than it was before, then I think before they decide to go, you know, all in on shutting down again, they're going to wind up taking steps to try to gradually reduce it. So things like rolling closures. So, you know, maybe the casinos would alternate how, you know, which ones are open, which ones are closed. Restaurants could be given a mandate to alternate which days they're open or which weeks they're open or whatever the case is, where you don't have as many places open at one time. But, you know, so that way we're, again, kind of playing that middle where we're not fully shut down, but we're not fully open, but it would be a step closer to, we have some businesses open to make money and we have others closed, and they would alternate that. That was one of the things that I had been told was something that had been discussed, you know, up in Carson City as something to possibly do when it came to if the situation gets worse, how can, you know, Nevada stay open and still get some money while still trying to minimize what's going on and mitigate how bad the situation is. So even if things do get, you know, worse with the virus after Labor Day weekend, I still do not think we're going to be shutting down anytime soon. I think it would have to get really bad for Las Vegas, for Clark County, and for the state of Nevada to shut down again. Because again, so much of it is financial. We're in such a big hole when we shut down the first time, you know, and you have your businesses going under, you have employees who can't get work, obviously, or they're, you know, or they're trying to get unemployment. Unemployment has obviously been a massive disaster here in the state of Nevada, trying to get all these people processed, all these claims of people who have not gotten any money, or they've only gotten some money, or they're owed all this much. So I really think they're going to do everything, you know, our politicians in Carson City, I really think they're going to do everything in their power before they have to actually come to the point of shutting down again. I really don't think that's going to be on the horizon. It could be, you know, if things do get bad enough, we could shut down again. I just don't think it's going to wind up being a likely possibility anytime soon. So there's probably going to be several things that they try before they shut down if things get worse. So near term, I don't think we're going to shut down. Even long term, it would be a ways before, you know, we even decide to shut down again. So that's what I think is going to be going on here in Las Vegas based on people I've talked to, word I'm getting here on the street, you know. So I know you guys like having someone here on the ground level to like tell you what's going on. So, you know, I like being able to share this with you guys, and even when I'm out of town, even if I'm out of town for like days at a time, I still hear about what's going on here in town. So guys, thank you for checking out this video. Thank you for being so awesome. I'm going to put another cool video right over there you guys can go ahead and check out. That is going to be it for this one. I am Jacob, and this is My Life in Vegas.